Carrie with Canary Quilts, and I'm coming to you from my design wall. We have completed our plus sign blocks. That was our last video. And then this video, we're going to complete our sashing units and our corner units. We have 12 of these and 4 of these, and these go together very quickly. And there's no trying to line up matching any seams or nesting, so it's just sewing it together. Making sure you got it in the right spots, but sewing it together. So this is I forgot to mention, this is the 11th Simple WhatNots Club from Fat Quarter Shop. And this is the first month. This is the plus, I'm calling it the plus sign quilt. It is called the close quarters quilt. And it is still, at the last I checked, it was still open to get into. So if you're interested in this quilt and you want to make it, you can go ahead and go to the link I supply below and order it, get your first month, and follow along with me on this journey. So let's get our sewing machines out and let's get to making the sashing and the corner units. Okay, to get started with the sashing units and the corner units, we're going to need pretty much all the pieces we have cut. We've got our 3.5 rectangles, our 2.5 rectangles, our 1.5 squares, and then the rest of our plus sign colors here. So I'm going to lay out both the sashing unit and the corner unit, and I'll go through how they're constructed for you. So let's start with the sashing unit, and we will need, start with the first color on top. We'll need one of these plus sign centers. We'll put those there. And let's just, well, we're fine. We're fine. It's gonna mix it up, but. So then you got your 3.5 rectangles on top and bottom. Then we've got our 1.5 of the plus sign in the middle. And then the 2.5 goes here. So that's the construction of our sashing. 3.5s on the outside, 2.5 on the inside with a 1.5, and then the 3.5 colored one in the center. Corner block is really simple. So you're going to put 3 1.5 squares on either side with the colored 1.5 square in the middle, and then that in the center. So let's start with the sashing, and I have got my machine set on a scant 1/4 inch, and if you watched the last video you found out that the scant 1/4 inch is what gave me my perfect block size, and it also did with the sashing and the corner unit. So I am doing a scant 1/4 inch. So we are going to start with these middle units, and we're going to always clip the side that you're going to sew, and all you're doing is lining up these edges, and I'm going to sew that side. Same here. Line up the edges and clip the side you're going to sew. May be obvious, but just in case they get mixed up, you want to clip it. So same with the corner unit. Let's start with these 3 1.5 inch blocks, and we'll sew the center colored to one of the 3.5s. Line up those edges and clip where you're going to sew. So these are going to be the 4 we're going to start sewing when we're constructing both of these. So I'm going to get these sewn with a scant 1/4 inch. Okay, I've got my 4 pieces sewn, and we're going to iron towards the dark fabric, set those seams. Now, one nice thing about these blocks that we're doing, the sashing and the corner unit, is there's no matching seams. You're just going to be matching edge to edge. So we'll get these ironed towards the dark fabric. take these. We're going to put them back. And our next set of sewing is we're going to start sewing these 3 rows together, and then we're going to sew the other 1.5 onto this one, onto the rows here. So let's get this set up to sew. Line up the edges and clip. Line up the edges and clip. Line up these edges on the other side of that dark block. Same on the bottom. And now we are going to sew these 4 pieces where I have clipped them with a scant 1/4 inch. Okay, I got the 4 seams done. Now, this is how we're going to iron these 4 seams. The corner block seam will again be ironed towards the dark fabric. Set that seam so hopefully it will go flatter when you're ironing over. Now this seam is going to be ironed towards the cream color. And we'll do the same when we attach the other side also. So it's going to be ironed away from that center piece. Oops, fold it over. Okay. So, we're getting there. Put this back, put that back. Next will be to put this bottom row on here. It's pretty obvious which side we have to sew on, but it's always good to put a clip. It's good practice. Same here. And then to finish this one down here, we'll iron these to that center plus sign block piece. So now we only have 3 seams to sew. Okay, here's our 3 seams. On our corner unit, we will iron towards the dark. Which is what I like to say the path of least resistance, because there's no seams over here. Same with, not the same, this is our sashing side units, and we're gonna iron away from that center towards the cream. All right, this is our second sashing. Okay, let's go back. Telling you, this easel has been worth, well, I don't know, $18 that I spent. Obviously you can see from the strings that the fabric sticks to it. So this is how it goes. So now we're going to start sewing these to the center. We'll take one and we'll line it up with the edges. And as you can see, even though I used a scant 1/4 inch, it lines up perfectly with our piece here. So we'll get that sewn on, and this is where we're going to finish our corner block. We'll line up that bottom row with that center plus sign piece. And now we have these 2 seams to sew. Okay, here's our 2 seams. We're finished with that corner block, so let's start with that. And we're going to iron towards that center plus sign, the dark color. Three and a half. Scant 1/4 inch works great. So then we are going to iron towards the center here also, towards that dark color. One more seam. And we will have our sashing and corner unit done. There we go. Line up those edges. Sew that seam. There is our sashing unit. We are going to iron towards the dark, which is that center plus sign section. So what did I do? Oh, let's just, didn't want to go that way. Let's do that other side. Unless I did it wrong. The video doesn't lie. I might have done it wrong. Okay, there is our sashing unit. 7 1/2. Obviously 3 1/2. So scant 1/4 inch on this also. Give you a great looking block. So I'm going to finish the rest of them just like I did this. You need 12 of these and you only need 4 of these. So it's pretty simple. And it won't take very long. Obviously it didn't take me very long to put these together. So I'll come back and show you my finished blocks. There we go. Got the sashing, these pieces, and the corner units, which are these pieces right here, all done now. That's what it looks like hanging on the wall. These were pretty easy to put together, and again, I'd use a scant 1/4 inch. It seems to work the best for me with this quilt, with all the seams that are in it. These seams can really kind of pull it together, so scant 1/4 inch gets you out to the size you need on your block and your sashing and your corner blocks. So, thank you very much for watching this video. If you want, I have put up 2 videos now of how to cut and organize this fabric and how to do the plus sign blocks. And I will link those down below. The next video is going to be putting this all together, and then my final video will be quilting it and binding it. So, thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next video.